Hey, I'm Champaign native Emily Harrington. You're watching the podcast where townies and transplants share their tales of tears and triumphs, losses and wins, proving week after week that everyone has a story to tell. Welcome to HyperLocals. Welcome back to the next episode of the HyperLocals podcast. I feel like the luckiest girl in the world. I have a self-described elusive person across from me, and I have hunted him down, emailed him. I have made public proclamations that he was my dream guest to have on the pod simply because his name comes up all the time throughout these 186 episodes. Thad Morrow. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Truthfully, is this your worst nightmare?
I would say it's up in the top three. I have some other ones like, awful meals and, bad wine.
Okay. What is it about speaking about yourself or speaking publicly that you don't like?
I'm just not sure that it's all that interesting.
Oh, it's so interesting. I can already tell it's so interesting. So you fear it being uninteresting. That's simply it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that what I do is like that. I think maybe when I'm cooking and I'm putting something on a plate and serving to someone,
okay,
the interesting part is the plate. The part that's putting on the plate, which would be me, is the uninteresting part.
Okay. Well, I'm going to prove you wrong. Okay. Let's start at the beginning. I do not know much about you because you are so elusive.
Yeah.
And kind of private, maybe.
Yeah, private's a good word.
Okay. Jacksonville, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're not from Italy.
I am not from Italy.
Okay. Huge Italian ties.
I love all things Italian.
Okay.
I have spent some time abroad. When I was much younger, when I was like 10 or 11, my parents sent me to an exchange program outside of Paris.
Paris, Illinois?
Paris, France.
Okay.
And then I fell in love with European culture, even at a young age. And so then during college, I spent some college time in Italy studying. Part of my college was in Siena.
Where was college?
Indiana University.
Okay, IU. Okay. So what made your parents send you? You're from Jacksonville, Illinois. What's Jacksonville like?
It's a small, farming and factory town.
Okay.
I mean, I think when I grew up there, it was probably, I don't know. I'm even from a smaller part. I'm from South Jacksonville, which is attached. It's kind of like the Urbana of
So
Champaign.
funny. Okay.
A smaller town. And I don't know what the population is, but it can't be like 30,000. Probably when I was there, 20.
Okay. What made your parents have the foresight and progression to send you abroad?
Well, I think they wanted to get rid of me.
Yeah, right. Really?
No, both of my parents are from small towns. I think the population of my father's hometown was like 50 people.
Okay.
My mom, Rushville, Illinois, I don't know, maybe 1,000.
Wow. Okay.
So I think that they were quite smart in saying, hey, we need to expose our children, I have an older sister, to something so they can at least see what's out there.
And that they did.
Yeah, and it was very smart because it transformed my life.
Interesting.
When I was like 11. Like, otherwise it would be a very different story.
Did your sister also get this philosophy?
Yeah, she went and studied abroad for a year in Pearl, Australia.
Wow. Okay.
In high school. I think she left all of her senior year.
Okay.
And was gone.
What about European culture were you drawn to at 11?
I think it's interesting because I like to cook when I was sort of like 9 or 10 or something like that. So then I went to France and I thought for sure that I was going to be a professional cyclist.
Okay.
It was like the time when like Greg LeMond was a big deal. And so I think that I thought that I was going to go to France, see the Tour de France.
Okay.
And then there'd be like, that kid, he's going to be the next star, which obviously did not happen.
That's so funny.
But then I tasted food there.
Okay.
And I still, like, two things I remember. Like, I tasted this chocolate, like, hen, like chicken, like, looked like a chicken, but small, filled with, like, a hazelnut paste.
Okay.
And then I tasted a chocolate croissant, and I was like, I want to live here. It was like, this food is so good, I don't know why I would eat anything else.
But you do end up coming back to the Midwest for school, to finish school.
Yeah. So I finished, I finished high school. Shocking. And then I even went to college. Even more shocking. Graduated. It took me a little longer than most people. And then, like during college, I started working in a French restaurant.
Okay.
I tried to get a job because I needed to make money because, and no one would hire me. And so it's going to sound untrue, but it is true. So I went around to all the restaurants in Bloomington,
Indiana,
and I said, I just need a job. Not hiring, not going to hire you, whatever. So the last stop, I went to this French restaurant, and I said, hey, look, I really need a job. I'll work 2 weeks for free.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like my work or whatever, you don't have to hire me. You don't got to pay me, whatever. I just think I just need something.
You need a chance.
Yeah. And the Marina, the chef and owner, with her husband, Patrick, was like, fine, do you speak any French? And I'm like, no, I speak a little bit. I went to some school in Jean-Josas, and she was like, no, you didn't. I'm like, that's her hometown.
Oh, my God.
She's like, it's impossible. It's a town of like nothing. There's no way you live there. And so I described it to her, and she was like, okay, you can work for 2 weeks, and then we'll see how it goes. And I worked there for 3 years, all through college. And then when I got, not all through college, and then that's kind of how it got started. Then I went to culinary school. So.
Did you feel, when you went to IU, which I think is interesting, like this is so under my pay grade, meaning you had seen the world, and now you're back in the Midwest.
But I think, Bloomington offers so much as a town, as far as like, eating. The food scene there is great. Mm-hmm. You can see great opera. It's a great opera school.
What? Okay.
So it's a great music school generally.
Okay.
And a great language school. So I went there to study languages, which I'm not quite deft at, so I didn't end up getting a degree in any language because I'm just awful at it. But I think you can go there. I feel like the Dalai Lama's brother lives there, so there's a bunch of like a few Nepalese restaurants there. So it's a cool scene. Okay. If you're going to go to college.
Okay,
like
interesting.
I thought like, oh, this is like very interesting, and that's how I got into wine. I took a wine class and so.
Okay, so from there, what do you end up getting a degree in?
I have a degree in public policy.
Okay.
And environmental science and policy.
At any moment in time, did you want to pursue a career in that degree?
I briefly worked for the Illinois EPA.
Okay.
And I was in a cubicle, and that was my nightmare.
Okay. So second to this.
Yeah. No, I would put that first and this second.
Okay. Fair enough. So when do you decide that food is going to be the direction you go? Was it working in that restaurant just ignited something?
Well, I always wanted to be, I thought, a baker.
Okay.
So, because I think maybe, when you have a great French baguette when you're a kid, you want to turn into a baker. So I told my parents that's what I wanted to do, and they were like, you should at least go to college first and then sort it out from there. And so I did. And I think in the back of my brain, I always just wanted to be a cook, but I didn't really know how to go about it.
Okay.
I definitely wanted to be a wine person, and I really didn't know how to do that. So sommeliers weren't as cool as they are today. So I didn't know the avenue. It's not like you can go to a guidance counselor in Jacksonville, Illinois, and say, hey, look, I want to sell and taste wine for a living and make Michelin-starred food. That didn't come up.
Right.
So then when I went to school, I took this CE class in appreciating wine, mostly because I thought I would probably meet a woman.
Oh, okay.
That did not turn out.
Okay.
I thought I would meet a girl, maybe go out, fall in love. But what I did fall in love with was the instructor, this guy Cooper Speaks, and this whole idea of wine and food, and this, like, you could travel the world in a bottle and a dish. It was just like, what? I don't have to go, I can just do it myself. I can do it at my house, I can do it in my apartment. I can make anything I want. And it could be Indian food, it could be Thai food, it could be whatever, and explore the world through the food lens. And then you pair it with wine, and you have this whole kind of dynamic of dreaming, right? You can just sit in your apartment and cook dinner and dream.
Okay. What were you doing at that French restaurant?
So I started as a dishwasher.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then I continued to wash dishes most of the time. And then they would have me, like whatever, a line cook quit.
Okay.
So I, line cooked. And then I, moved up and cooked more. And then maybe a waiter didn't show up. So like you can wait on tables, which I don't particularly love, because I remember spilling wine over a lady. So then on Wednesday nights, the owners lived upstairs, so they would hang out in case we got busy. But
Okay.
I would do it all. I would like cook the food and wait on the tables. One man show.
So that was your first hands-on.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I want to talk about if you cooked with your mom or anything like that that ignited something. And we're back. I can already tell that that 1 hour is not going to be enough time because you can list the places you've been, and it's like in a mile a minute, right? You've been out.
I've lived a lot of places.
Okay. Tell me, before the break, I said, did your mom cook, or was there any thing from your childhood pre that trip at 11?
Yeah, I think a lot. I mean, I think you talked to a lot of chefs. Probably most chefs had some kind of, cooking or food experience with their grandmothers,
Yeah.
or, or their moms, or And for me too, my mom was she's still alive, but she's not a very good cook now. But she was a good cook.
Oh, and she lost the skill.
She just kind of like if you don't do it,
Okay.
Even I'm the same way. Like sometimes I cook and I don't cook as much as I used to, that I mess a dish up or whatever. Anyway, so my mom growing up, very good cook, but my grandmothers were fantastic.
Okay.
So one of my mother's mom, great at making confections, and then my father's mom, very simple kind of country food, fried chicken, fried rabbit, fried whatever. So it was so interesting that she grew up on a small farm, and they had a dedicated outdoor kind of screened in fry room because it got too hot in the farmhouse to fry chicken. So in the summertime, we would fry chickens. She would grow everything, and I just didn't realize how good it was.
Sure.
Until later in life, when you're like, wow, that was really great. Like, frying stuff in bacon grease.
Oh,
it was just genius.
Yeah.
But it was only because that's what she did. And she didn't know that, there's fancy olive oil. No way.
It was simple.
Simple.
And wonderful.
Yeah. I remember years ago, I was living in New York and I came back to visit her. Her name was Beulah.
Oh, that's cool.
And I brought her this Japanese confection called wagashi. So it's kind of like a fancy Jell-O shot.
Okay.
So it's like clear gelatin, and inside they're really like beautifully designed things, right? So this one had like a koi fish.
Oh my goodness.
And they're seasonal. So I would go to this place in New York City, and they have these drawers, and you pull out and you pick out your wagashi, and they're kind of sweet, kind of savory. And so I flew back home to see her, and I gave her one, and her mind was like, what? Like, she'd never seen, she hadn't been fortunate enough to see stuff.
Sure.
And, like, her mind was blown as my mind was blown about her fried chicken. Like, you couldn't get great fried chicken in New York City.
Yeah.
But you can get it, it's just crazy to me.
You brought me pound cake.
I did.
And you made it.
I did. Last night.
Last night. Because you were bored.
Yeah.
At 2 in the morning?
No, I made it at, 11.
When you got home from work?
Yeah, well, I worked during the days on Tuesdays.
Okay. You were bored. So, okay. So why did you drop baking from your repertoire?
I think because it's too specific.
Yes. Okay.
Like most cooks would say that I just, even making the pound cake, I had a real hard time following the recipe.
Okay. Was this a recipe that you just Googled and found?
I found a pound cake recipe, so, pound cake, pound of eggs, pound of flour.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Pound of butter.
Okay.
And I used a different kind of butter. I mean, I use a fancy kind of butter. I use, a different kind of, these local eggs, which are just like mind-blowing from Joyful Wren. Oh.
You used butter that was formerly illegal in the States.
Yeah, not allowed to brought into America. Maybe a couple years ago they started bringing in Maison Bordier, but it's this hand-churned on a wooden counter. It's just fascinating to watch them make it. And once you taste the butter,
there's no comparison.
I mean, no way. I mean, it'll make your eyes hurt because it's very expensive.
Oh, sure.
But it's totally worth it.
The eggs that you mentioned, different than if I went to Schnucks and bought an egg. Taste different.
Taste different.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, okay. All right. I have to try to follow a track here because I do have to get through this interview, but I could ask thousands of questions. Okay, so let's go to IU, Bloomington.
Right.
Where do we go from there? You get a degree, but what you really want to do is in the culinary arts.
Yeah, so when I was working at the French restaurant, Le Petit Café, they decided that they wanted to build this kind of upstairs terrace and balcony. So I would work at the restaurant, building the terrace with the carpenters during the day, and then I would cook at nighttime. And then I was kind of saving money, so I wanted to go to culinary school. So I had graduated. I didn't know what I was going to do. I definitely didn't want to be an environmental lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
So I applied to, there was still the Cordon Bleu in France at the time, still existed. So I applied there, and I applied at Johnson & Wales, and I applied at the CIA in upstate New York in Hyde Park, which is kind of the Harvard of cooking schools.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so I got in there, and I went there.
Okay, did you get into any others?
I got into all of them.
You got into all of them, and you end up choosing which school?
CIA, Culinary Institute of America, yeah.
Okay, and you think, or that is the Harvard of culinary schools?
I would say it's arguable that Johnson & Wales is probably equally as good.
Okay.
But for me, it was like,
And so how long is that program?
The program has changed over the years. My program was, I think, like 21 months. I will say 2 years.
Okay. How was that experience?
It was exciting. I didn't really know how to. I thought I was probably a good cook because I was cooking out of Bon Appetit magazine.
Sure.
And then I learned that I was not a good cook.
Okay.
I was just cooking out of a magazine.
Okay, sure.
And then I didn't realize, I didn't know any of the real fundamentals.
Okay.
How to cut an onion correctly, how to do all these things. And I didn't understand the discipline. Like, we had to wear a uniform. We got demerits if we did things wrong. We had to shave. We had all these things.
Which you probably didn't like.
No, I didn't like it at all.
Okay.
I didn't know I was signing up for a military school.
Okay, okay. So it's the military of culinary arts.
Yeah, because culinary in itself, in a kitchen, is very regimented.
Okay.
And brigade system, old school, like the military. It was based off the military.
Wow. Okay. The chefs you now see portrayed on TV Food Network and popular shows, did you experience any of those? This kind of badass?
Sure. I mean, I briefly worked at Charlie Trotter's in Chicago.
Okay.
And then I left there and kind of took a moment, probably more a longer moment than a moment. And then I went and then I worked, I was the first and I think only apprentice for Mario Batali.
Really?
And so Food Network guy, obviously.
But Mario's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Did you have any hard ass?
Yeah, I mean, Trotter was hard ass. I mean, in culinary school, I don't want to speak out of turn, but we had this chef there, an intro to hot foods.
Intro to hot food.
Yeah. It's like, ugh.
Oh
and so that's when the first time you're cooking and you're serving other students and faculty, right? So there's student-run restaurants, and you go like in this cooking school, so you got to practice so people eat. Intro to hot foods. I won't mention the chef's name, but even though I think he's passed away, he was a very big guy, and he would sit in the kitchen at a desk in a big chair with a microphone, and he'd bark out the orders.
Oh, wow.
And I'd made a mistake one day about he thought I put the wrong stock in the soup or whatever, and he said to me, if he would supply the rope if I had to go outside and hang myself.
Oh, Lord.
Because I was never going to be any kind of a cook.
Okay.
So there's that.
How did that make you feel?
It kind of made me mad, I guess.
Okay, angry.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't a confidence killer.
No, I think it made me even more confident because then he asked for volunteers to help him cook on the weekends for like home cooks, and I was the first guy to raise my hand. And he was like, "You?" And I'm like, "That's right, buddy, me."
Okay, you're stuck with me.
Yeah. No one else is gonna do it.
What kind of personality were you in these early 20s?
I would say that I wasn't the nicest person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Confident.
I don't know that I was. I don't think I was the nicest person because I wasn't confident.
Oh, okay. So that you were trying to compensate.
Yeah.
Okay. So out of culinary school, you graduate.
Mm-hmm.
You know this is what you're going to do, and what's your first gig?
I tried to get the gig in Napa, working at a winery, which they fired me before I got there.
Okay.
So I get to move from New York to Napa.
Are you sending resumes to California? How's this?
Yeah, this is like all old school because there was no you had to mail stuff.
Yes.
Back I put a letter in the mail and whatever, and I applied to this vineyard, and I wanted to work in the winery.
Okay.
But I also have a culinary degree, so I know a fair amount about wine, and I know a good amount about cooking, but I was still young. And so whatever, they didn't need me for harvest or whatever. So then I'd already moved to California.
Oh,
So then I moved
no.
to Napa. So I moved from Napa and go down to LA and start doing some private chef work.
Okay, so are you able to afford your lifestyle?
I mean, you just got to pay. At that point, I was young in my 20s. All I had to do was pay rent.
Okay, okay. So that's the only thing you're really worrying about.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you like California?
I did. I didn't like it as much as I liked New York.
Oh, really? More of a New Yorker. That makes sense. Okay, so where do we go from California?
So I had a friend and an old boss. I'd worked at a wine shop in Springfield, Illinois called the Corkscrew
Okay.
during college when I'd go home and see my parents. And he was opening, excuse me, he was opening a store here in Urbana.
Okay.
And asked if I wanted to come and set it up and run it and manage it. And so I was like, oh, that sounds fun. I can drink as much wine as I want and get paid.
In college, in your heyday, were you drinking wine to get drunk?
Yeah.
Okay. Never beer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But you weren't a snob at that point.
No, I don't even think I'm a snob now. I'll drink, like I had a Coors Light last night baking that pound cake.
Okay. All right. So let's get what's the Urbana wine shop called?
It was called the Corkscrew.
Okay.
And it was on Cunningham and Vine.
Cunningham and Vine. Okay.
It's a Sherwin-Williams paint store now. But.
Okay. Your time now, you're getting kind of establishing roots in Champaign-Urbana, would you say?
I thought I was just gonna do that quick job
Okay.
for a year or two and then move back to New York. So I got a job offer in New York to work as a wine director for a restaurant out there for Morrow. I was probably gonna take it. I should have maybe taken it. And then a friend of mine convinced me that there weren't a lot of restaurants in town.
Okay.
And I'd cook for him and friends would come over. And so he's like, man, you're such a great cook. You should open a restaurant. I'm like, that's a terrible idea, and I have no money.
Okay.
And then somehow I looked at his space, and I signed a lease, and then we're off to the races.
Okay, and this space was called?
Baccarat.
Okay. And we will talk more about that when we get back. And we are back I really left us on a cliffhanger here. You now have no money. You're in Champaign-Urbana.
Yes.
And the opportunity comes to you to open your first restaurant, your first storefront, Baccarat.
Yes.
Okay. What does Baccarat mean? Did you name it?
I did name it. I'd been in Venice, maybe the year before that or 2 years before that, kind of on vacation with my girlfriend at the time, and we went to a Baccari or a Baccarat, just kind of like a little wine bar. It's kind of dialectual for a wine bar in the Veneto. And they serve cool wines, and they serve like cicchiette, so kind of the Italian version of tapas.
Okay.
And I just thought, this is it.
Oh.
This is like, I want one of these. I'm going to make this. So little snacks and cool wine. I didn't want a full restaurant. I just wanted to have a little place you go, get a little, maybe some olives, maybe a little crostini, whatever, and have a cool glass of wine, and then go about your evening.
Okay. Is that what Baccarat became?
That's how it started.
Okay.
That is not how it ended.
Okay. What happens in between there?
So I would make food. So I had a full kitchen there, and I would cook a little bit for friends, and then people would come in and see the food I was cooking, and they're like, "Oh, I want that." And then I started doing a nightly tasting menu.
Okay.
So I had the regular menu like panini and crostini, little simple things, and then I would maybe do a tasting menu, 5-course or 9-course tasting menu, just for fun.
For fun.
And then people come in and start asking for that, and it wasn't really, there wasn't a menu. I didn't print anything.
Wow.
I would just cook, right? And so when people would come in, every table would get a different tasting menu. So it was challenging.
Not
culinarily.
sustainable.
Not sustainable, but it was for years, it was very challenging for me and for the other cooks who worked in the kitchen, that we couldn't, we could use the same ingredients or we could repeat certain things, but I wanted everyone that came in to have a unique dining experience.
Yeah.
Which was madness.
What are your hours during this time in your life? What are you working?
Probably working 7 in the morning. I would get there for fish deliveries because all the fish had to be FedExed in at the time. There wasn't a big fish purveyor.
Okay.
So all the stuff was FedExed. And there at 7, check the fish in, or 8 o'clock, work until maybe 2, take a nap, and then work, we'll say 3:30 to 4 to maybe 2 in the morning.
Okay. Very little time for a personal life and sleep.
Yeah, not a lot of sleep was had. A lot of fun was had.
So it was you look back on that time in a positive way.
Yeah.
As a fun time.
Yeah, it was, you know, I was like 29.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe into my mid 30s. Like, I can't imagine doing anything else.
Okay. Tell me about the trajectory and then how it eventually closes.
Yeah, so, you know,
How long was the span?
So I technically opened in 2001.
Okay.
And then I ran, everything was going well. A few years later, I'd opened a grocery store next door called Persimmon Grocery.
Okay.
That was running. That ran for maybe 4 years or 5 years. That really wasn't working.
Okay.
So I closed it, and I leased the space. So I had to figure out how to use that space.
Huh.
So I, convinced people to buy these private wine cabinets to help fund the expansion, and they got a private wine cabinet in the private dining room. So we expanded, and the kitchen was really tiny, so I had doubled my occupancy, but so it had its challenges. And then I decided that I wanted to open a French restaurant, so I opened a little French bistro, which I love to this day. I think I wish I still had that place. It was great, like steak fried and half roast chicken, and and then
in addition to this, okay.
Yeah. So then the French place just didn't work, so that closed, and then the grocery store obviously I'd closed at that time and expanded the restaurant.
So why didn't the French restaurant work?
I don't know.
Okay. We're not sophisticated enough to.
I just don't. Maybe the audience wasn't there.
Yeah.
Or I thought I wanted to make it super accessible. All the wines were under $50 a bottle. I wanted to make all the entrees, like $20. It's probably not the audience. I think that I was also not good at managing people.
Okay. In what ways did you lack management skills?
I didn't have any.
Okay.
Like they don't teach you that stuff in culinary school. They teach you how to cook. They don't teach you how to manage and how to maybe inspire people or get people to buy in, as they say these days, to your vision.
Okay.
I just couldn't get people to
get hooked on what you were trying to achieve.
And it wasn't their fault. It was I was the guy who was in charge, so I needed to figure out a way to get them to do it, and I just couldn't.
But you're also 29.
Oh, that was older. When I opened the French place, I was in my early 30s.
Still.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you look for in an employee or a chef now or at that time?
I don't know. I just get and it's not always correct, but I just get a feeling.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Someone comes in and we talk. Like, I don't need to see probably need to see your resume because you probably whatever. Maybe it's not accurate. I don't know. I just get a vibe, which sounds a little new agey.
Sure.
But usually works.
It usually works.
Usually.
Okay, so Baccarat is still going.
Yes.
We've closed Persimmon, the little grocery.
Close the French place.
Close the French place. And how do you feel when you close that? Like emotionally, how do you feel? Disappointed, failed?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm still disappointed. Like, I'm disappointed.
Really?
Like, I think that if those places existed today, I think that they would be great.
Okay.
But they won't exist. So about that time, it's like, I don't know, maybe 2013. I was tired and really burned out.
Okay.
And I'd had a son, so I was equally tired, and it became unfun.
Okay.
And then I wanted to stop doing. Not that work has to be fun all the time.
Sure.
But it became really unfun.
Okay.
And I got a job offer in New York, and I just couldn't turn it down.
Okay, so you closed the restaurant.
I sold.
You sold the restaurant.
Yes.
Okay. And moved to New York.
And moved back to New York, yeah.
Okay. You sold the restaurant. Can you tell me about that? You're selling. What are you selling to them?
I mean, I'm selling the bones and the inventory, the kitchen, all that stuff, and
the name.
And the name.
Okay.
So yeah, that was, what they got, and they closed maybe a year later.
A year later. Okay, so they tried to keep your vision alive?
I think, and I don't want to speak for them because I'm not them. I think they probably should have rebranded and done their own thing.
Okay. So it didn't close because it wasn't successful. It closed because you had no more gas.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say it was a financial success.
Okay.
I don't want to like have people have the illusion that like I'm driving a Maserati.
Sure.
You have to really want to run a restaurant.
Yeah.
To run a restaurant,
it's your entire life.
It's still like I have a small wine shop, and it's still my entire life.
Wow.
So
okay.
You have to run a small business, like a restaurant or a wine shop or a wine bar. You have to be 100% committed to it.
Okay. So you wanted to be under someone instead of being the leader for a minute.
What I wanted to do was make money.
Okay. Well, now you have a kid. I mean, that's a whole nother
Yeah,
ballgame.
I didn't have health insurance, so I needed health insurance. I needed like a regular paycheck because I probably didn't cash my paycheck half the time.
Jeez Louise. This is your lifestyle gives me a little anxiety.
I think it gives you anxiety.
But it seems to be your motor.
Yeah, I think you got to hustle, and it
Yeah.
teaches you how to really, like, when you don't know, you try harder.
Okay.
Because you like what's tomorrow? Like every day I wake up and I'm like, okay, this is what we're gonna do today to see if I can make this work. And half the time, my crazy ideas don't work.
But you're willing to try.
Yeah, because sometimes you get this like, oh,
Yeah.
it worked.
Okay. What happens in New York?
So I went to work for a company called Blue Apron. It's a meal kit delivery
Oh my God, yes.
company. They hired me as their wine director to launch their wine program.
Okay.
And so I kind of packed up in 2 weeks, 2 suitcases, left everything here, sold everything I owned, and moved to New York.
Okay. Did that feel, just knowing you for this short amount of time, did that feel like selling out to you?
Yeah, though I think at the time I was so tired.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I just did it.
God.
And most decisions I make, honestly, are snap decisions.
Okay. Impulsive.
I don't think about them. I just do it.
Okay. And we will pick back up in New York when we get back. Okay, we are back here with Steven.
Caught me. My first name.
I just can't. I don't know why I thought to ask. Is that not your real name, Thad?
Yeah, I mean, it's my middle name, so it technically is my name.
Okay.
It's not my first
Your
name.
parents never called you by your given name.
Nope.
Steven with a PH.
Never once.
And Steven does not match you.
No.
But Thad totally works for you.
Yeah, it's like, my parents were like, But I think it doesn't sound good, Thad Stephen Morrow. It sounds better, Stephen Thad Morrow. So
Okay,
I think
sure.
my parents were smart enough to at least the flow.
Yeah, okay. And Steven with a PH.
Yeah, it's my mother's maiden name, and there weren't any dudes, so like
Okay. That's an aside. But we're back in New York, okay? And you're working for a corporation.
Yeah, I'm working for a startup company. I think when I started working there, like 250 people.
Okay. And what do you think of that environment?
It's totally wild.
Okay.
Like I had no idea what I was getting myself into. It's a complicated story in that one of the founders of Blue Apron, many years before that, was one of my line cooks.
Okay. Wow.
So that's the connection. And he's like, they're looking for a wine guy, and he was like, I know this perfect wine guy, and I'll get him to work at this company.
Did it give you that respite that you were trying to get at that time? That break? It did.
It gave me I was still in the culinary world, so I was buying a lot of wine and putting it in a bottle. It was challenging, interesting. I wasn't used to working with a lot of people.
Sure.
And usually, like we were talking about, I just do something, and I didn't know that I needed to ask permission to do stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So there you have to ask for permission.
Okay.
Which is a problem.
Okay. Did that cause a problem for you?
Yeah.
Okay. How does that job end?
So it ends is that the company grew a lot. I mean, I think into the thousands of people.
Oh, quickly.
Quickly, and then we went public. So it was a private company that went public.
Okay. And
Then I left after it went public, because even when the company goes public, it's even more challenging.
Okay.
Because then you got to talk to lawyers about
Okay.
this, and you got to like really all the hoops, and wasn't my thing.
Okay. So your former line cook started
Yeah,
or partially.
He was one of the founders. Yeah.
Of Blue Apron.
Yes.
Okay. Where do we go from that job in New York?
Well, I was kind of coming back and forth to see my son, and so I thought maybe I should move back to Champaign.
Okay.
But I don't have a job.
Okay.
Problem.
Sure.
I could probably work somewhere just to work.
Okay.
But then it turned out that a guy who had a few restaurants in town hired me to open a new restaurant called Naya
Okay.
on Green Street. So I moved back and was the executive chef and partner at Naya on Green, and then COVID. So
Okay, then COVID. After Naya, have you remained in Champaign since Naya?
yeah, I took a job kind of private chefing and managing private wine collections.
Okay, in town?
Around the country.
Around
I
the
just
country.
was based here. And then I would drive Uber.
Really?
I could have been your Uber driver.
Okay. Okay, wild. So during that time, how did you feel as Thad, the Uber driver, versus the guy who was owned Baccarat?
Well, it gave me a lot of time to like drive around and think about a new business.
Okay.
And so that's what I did. And I just was trying to save enough money to open another spot. And I'd been into the space where the wine bar is now. And I always loved that spot.
Huh.
And I like downtown. I used to like it a lot more. But I think downtown has great possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to try and save up enough money and figure out how to get the other money to open this place. So it gave me enough time to do that. And so I would do it again tomorrow.
Okay, and that's where you landed today. That's where you are
That's
today.
where I'm today, yeah. So we've been in business for about 3.5 years.
3.5 years. This is describe, let me see if I can get it right. Ladro Enoteca.
Yes.
Okay. What does it mean, and describe the concept?
So the concept is kind of what I originally wanted to do at Baccarat. I just wanted a simple place where you can go, have a quick snack, and have a cool glass of wine, or buy a bottle, take it home, have a cool dinner. That's all I ever wanted. Like there was a time in my life I wanted to have a Michelin star or 2 Michelin stars, but then I realized it's probably not like it's like being a professional athlete, right?
Okay.
I'm good,
One in a
but
mil.
I'm not great.
Okay. Well,
But I can be really good
yeah.
at this.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I want to do that. And honestly, it's just a place that I want to go to. I build places that I want to go to that don't exist.
Okay.
So I was trying to get a good glass of wine in town and just have a snack. And I'm like, it doesn't exist.
Okay.
So, I'm going to open one so I can go have a glass of wine and I'll have a snack.
Are you a sommelier?
I am, yeah. I took I'm not a master. I sat the first exam and the second one on back in 97.
Okay. What is a sommelier by definition?
I mean, it just boils down to a lot about wine and you sell it.
Okay.
So if you come in, I can guide you. So I'm think of me as a Sherpa. You come in, I'm having this for dinner.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have a formal education. You used to be good at this, right? It was I'm having roast chicken with, black truffles and whatever. What do you think? And I'm like, try this wine or try that wine.
Okay. This is a simpler concept.
Yeah.
That you felt could be totally in your grasp and control, and you could be excellent.
Yeah. I think there are two things that are difficult. It's difficult to be excellent doing something that's simple. So it's very challenging because you don't have any decorations. So,
like a woman without makeup.
Yeah, if you're beautiful, you're beautiful, and that's and if you're great on the inside, there's so many things that people miss because they get distracted by the neon.
Bells and whistles, yeah, sure.
Right. So what I don't want you to be distracted by is the neon. So I built a space that was what I dreamed of my living room would be. That you want to come and hang out.
Okay.
But it's not about me. It's about whoever you're having your glass of wine with, or if you're having it by yourself, that you have a minute, like I had in the Uber, to drive around and think. And I think a lot of places that you just can't, they make it so hard to relax.
Because there's so much stimulation.
So much. And they're like, here, buy this, here, do this. Or, or they just want to I get it, you're in a business, you've got to sell stuff to make money. But I just wanted a place where you could go and relax.
Is your goal to make money at this point in your life?
At this point in my life, it should be.
Uh-huh.
I'm challenged by that.
Okay.
Because every time I have some money, I want to spend it to make something better.
Okay. There's a constant need for progression and forward momentum.
Yeah.
And dreaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I would be a bad example for my son if I said, okay, this is good enough.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
Okay.
It's never good enough. You can keep tweaking. That table, I've never really liked it. I got to find another one. But table, no one's going to complain about the table except for me.
But then you can never relax.
It's difficult.
Okay. Because your mind's always moving.
Yeah, because it's exciting.
Yeah.
Not because I don't want. It's because it's super exciting.
Okay. Tell me about what your son thinks of you, these concepts, and your life as a dad.
You probably have to ask him. But I think that he enjoys my company.
Are you cool to him?
I don't know if cool is the right word.
Okay.
Maybe different.
Different. Okay. Okay. Not stereotypical dad.
Yeah, I would definitely not be. I wouldn't be a stereotypical dad or friend or anything.
Does he have any of the same natures you do? Likes?
I think he has a particularly good eye
Okay.
for detail. I don't know if that came from me or his mom. His mom has a particularly good eye for detail also.
Okay.
That he has a good sense.
A good sense.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite thing to cook at home? Like when you're bored?
Pound cake.
Oh, okay. Okay. Did you make that for me?
I figured I got to bring something, right?
Do you do that a lot? Anywhere you go, are you bringing something?
Yeah, not that I go on too many dates, but I think back in the day, if I were to go on a first date, I would always try and bake a cookie or something.
That is so
Softens
nice.
the blow.
And that's dead. Chivalry is dead in that respect.
Well, I think that's the beauty of food, right? Is that you can really, if you're not an emotional person, like I'm really not that emotional.
Okay.
I think you can express your emotion, like, oh, that's exciting for me to come today, so I'll do this. I'm excited about it. Or I get excited to cook for people, like my friends. I love to cook for, so I think that's how you can, a lot of cooks express themselves.
Okay.
It's like musicians, right? They can't talk regular, but they can make a music song.
Okay. And we will continue this conversation when we get back. Okay. I'm sad because we only have 10 minutes left. So I got to get in all my questions. So I'm going to kind of rapid fire.
Rapid fire the questions.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Okay. Interestingly enough, okay. The only reason I was able to get you on the podcast is because I came in to talk to you face to face.
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, do you think I would have been able to?
No.
Really? And why is that interaction the one that spurred you? Meaning?
I hate the telephone.
Okay.
I don't even answer the telephone at work.
Okay.
I'll just let it ring.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. You mentioned Food Network.
Mm-hmm.
You were on the Food Network. At what stage of your life are we at?
So I had Baccarat, and I got a call that they wanted me to be on Cutthroat Kitchen, and I turned them down the first time.
Why?
As I was going to Singapore to cook for a guy in Australia, so I couldn't anyway. And then he paid more. And so then I came back and they hit me up again, and I'm like, okay, it's a free trip to L.A. So yeah, I did it.
Okay, so that's a competition show.
Yeah.
With Alton Brown.
Yeah.
Who's like a scientific branded chef.
He's got a good culinary brain about yeah.
Okay. What was that experience like?
It was fun. I mean, I lost in the first round.
Okay.
Which was even better for me because then I could go to dinner and I didn't have to worry about it.
Okay, and you still get the trip.
I still got the trip. Yeah.
Okay. If I were to search on YouTube for it,
I tried to get everything off the internet, but you might be able to find. I think some people have found it.
Why did you try to get everything off the internet?
Because no one wants to see a loser.
Oh, that's really why. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Okay. Right after break or during break, you said I cooked for the president.
Yeah, I've done a couple jobs. I mean, I was part of the crew, so we cooked for the Clintons and I cooked for Obama.
How do you get that kind of a gig?
Private chef job.
Private chef job. What has been the best, most favorite, most enjoyable job of your career thus far? Private or not?
Well, it's funny. It's two things. I had this job when I was growing up in a car wash, a robo wash, kind of like Smitty's or whatever it is there. I loved that job so much.
Why?
Because the owner would bring me a Mountain Dew and a donut every morning, and I sat in this little kiosk, and and then someone would give me $1 tip or $5, and I thought this was the coolest job ever.
Simple.
Yeah, simple. I don't need it And then, so that's as a youth. And my favorite job as an adult, I would say my current one.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have employees or this is a one-man show?
No, I have one full-time employee.
Okay.
Alice. She has a much better palate than me.
Okay.
And the place would probably be starkly different if she weren't around.
Really?
And then I have two part-time
okay.
Employees that are both fantastic. One is kind of new to the wine world, So, but she's got I like her thing. And funny thing is, her mom used to work for me as a waitress or whatever, server at Baccarat.
Oh my gosh.
So I couldn't not hire her.
Okay. Has your leadership changed from Baccarat days to Ladro days?
Yeah, I rarely yell.
Okay.
And I don't throw anything anymore.
But that used to be the vibe.
That's not a good management technique.
Okay. And you don't say that in jest.
No.
You're being serious.
Yeah, because I thought that I'm super intense.
Okay.
And I didn't know how to channel the intensity into positive, let's do it this way.
Okay.
So I thought the louder it's like you're in an argument, and if you're just going to out yell someone, you're not going to win the argument.
Wow.
Doesn't mean you're going to win the argument. So I had to figure out, and I think when I was in New York, I learned that they didn't teach me this. I just thought about it because I had a lot of time to think.
Okay. This is Blue Apron?
Blue Apron.
Okay.
And I'm watching a big company operate.
Yeah.
And how they don't or do inspire a culture.
Okay.
And so I think that a lot of people now want this culture. They just don't know how to get it. And how you get it is you just be that person. Like, how you learn about wine? You drink it.
Okay. So you just practice what you preach.
Yeah, you have to, and you have to encourage people in a positive way. Like, oh, look, you're not maybe, here, try this.
Okay.
Tell me about it. That's very different than expecting. And I'm not even the best at it right now. I just forget that people don't know a lot of stuff. And you got to teach them.
Yeah, okay.
It's my job to teach people.
Has that come with age?
Yeah.
Okay.
And having a son.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. Tell me, and I don't know if you want to answer. If you don't want to answer this question, it's fine. But best restaurant in CU?
So I'm going to give you 3.
Okay, great.
And I think that there are a fair amount of very good restaurants in town. I think people are always saying, oh, I wish we had this, I wish we had that. And that's great. You should do it. If whoever says we should have this, then you open one.
Okay.
So I think the people who are running restaurants in this town have a very challenging job, and I definitely wouldn't want it anymore because I did it. But I would say on campus, Northern cuisine.
Okay, never been.
Delicious. I would say for the 83 Vietnamese.
Okay.
Vietnamese place at the Crossing.
Never been.
Her pho broth is
Okay.
like transformative.
Really?
And then it's going to sound a little wacky.
Okay.
There's a place called Pond Street. It's inside the VFW.
Okay, I read about this.
His food is so thoughtful. And he put thought into stuff that people don't put thought into, like a fish sandwich.
Okay, and this is inside the VFW.
Yeah. You go in, you grab a beer, you go to the left, you get some food. It's not, there's fluorescent lights and it's not fine dining. But the ideas that I think that he's wrapped around some of his food, he's like thinking about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's probably the biggest, like currently, yeah.
How did you come in contact with him? Did you read about him or did...
I think I met him somewhere.
Okay.
And then he has a friend of mine has this great sushi place in town called Ishi. And so he would cook pop-ups there. So I think Ken does great stuff at Ishi. I think Old School, Temponi's is fantastic. So I think there's you have to kind of pick what you're looking for.
Do you still do private events, a private chef?
Rarely.
Okay, it just has to be the right person, the right price.
Yeah. Or if I'm broke, then I'll take the job.
Okay. And how long has Ladro been open?
3.5 years.
Okay. When it first opened, was it a one-man show?
It was a one man, one woman, Alice.
Okay, she's been with you.
The whole time, yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell me about what does Ladro do for you that Baccarat didn't?
I think it gives me a chance. Baccarat was cool. It just got out of control. And now I feel like I can say no to things like, oh, hey, make this.
Yeah.
That's not what I do here.
Okay.
Like, oh, could you do this? And intentionally, I don't have a kitchen because I knew that if there were a kitchen, then I would go back in that kitchen and make pasta.
Oh my!
And then everybody would be like, oh, can I get that dish? So now I just do this. It's not that I don't love to cook certain things, but I just, I don't want it to get out of control.
Okay. All right. Is there anything do you want to say before I ask my final question? Did we miss anything huge?
Huge? I don't think any of this is huge.
I mean, you're too humble. Okay, the NA movement, non-alcoholic movement.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I feel good about it. We opened a second location, Ladro Zero, inside the CU Flower House, because I think it's a good idea. I think it's also one of my ideas that may be ahead of its time. So, yeah. But
Okay.
but I had to try.
Yeah. So you can go to your place. Tell me the addresses, hours of your 2 locations.
Yeah, so the wine bar is 1 East Main, Suite 108, downtown Champaign, between Big Grove Tavern and the Space. And then our non-alcoholic retail shop only is inside the CU Flower House, which is like 2006 North Neal.
That's pretty good, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
Do you still host events at CU Flower House?
We haven't for a while. We might in the upcoming year.
Okay.
Yeah, events. I don't know. This town is particular. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't work.
Okay, but you keep, obviously you have roots here now. Your son's here.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about CU that you like?
100% here because my son lives here.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Anything else? Did you want Instagram followers or anything?
Sure, you can follow me on Instagram.
What is your Instagram handle? And what does it mean?
Le nez de vin.
Yeah.
Means the nose of wine.
The nose of wine. Okay. Wow, this has been such a pleasure. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Yeah, and this may be like a PR riot after this. People are going to be knocking down your door.
Well, unlikely they're going to get a hold of me.
Okay, unless they come in.
If you come in and buy a glass of wine, which you didn't, but maybe you don't drink, so I don't know. So like typically, people ask me for stuff, and I wonder if they've ever had a glass of wine at my place.
Oh my God.
And if they have, then I'm like more likely to say maybe.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't drink, but I would do the NA.
Yeah.
Okay, so next time I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Dad, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Bye. Did it. Thank you for listening to this week's HyperLocal show. If you like what you hear or you need anything from me, let me know at hyperlocalscu.com. Also, search and follow HyperLocalsCU on all social media. Like me, follow me. Bye.